first failure I faced in my ninth standard, that time I wrote something on notebook and I decided to change. But in the first year of first semester itself, I failed in all subjects. But in second year when I got against another failure. Okay, so that time I was completely broken, and I have mentioned it in my book as well that I attempted a suicide. But that day I heard different thing from my father. He said, "You go back to Pune and complete your engineering." Success is not a matter of being the best and winning the race. It is a matter of finishing the race and handling the worst. Failures are not meant to take you down, but it is to make you realize that what your inner strength really is. When it is a downtime or when you cannot sell, then prepare for tomorrow. Just learning the technical things is not enough. You have to learn the discipline of your life. You have to learn the productivity of your life, right? You have to accept some good habits in your life. Always remember that the way you do anything is the way you do everything. Even if it is a small thing that you decide to complete it. If you want to write a book and if you have a solid purpose, then you should definitely write a book.
Hello, viewers. Hello. Let's welcome Mr. Amol Ujagare today. He's a very special guest for this afternoon, and we will be talking to him about his journey, about his book. You can see his book on the screen, The Investment in Failures. So, obviously, we will be talking about that. We will know more about him. We will know more about his journey and his struggles, and most importantly, his failures, because his book specially talks about failures. So let me welcome first Amolji. Uh, Thank you for taking time out and talking to us, connecting with us. So thanks. So I welcome you. And
Thank you.
let me give brief introduction about Mr. Amol Ujagare. He is from Pune. He has a IT background. He has done his information technology graduation, that is B computers, B in information technology from one of the most reputed colleges from Pune, that is PICT College. And right from the beginning of his career till now, he's in the field of software coding and software testing. And now he calls himself a software testing coach, where he coach different software professionals on these particular aspects. So instead of wasting more time on this, let us directly start our discussion with Amolji so that we know right from him what he is into. So welcome Amolji once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. There are very few books in the market which talk about failures. There are plenty of books. They talk about success, but very few books on the subject failure. And your book is on failure. So
Right.
please tell me about your book. Why did you think of writing this particular book, and why this chapter? Why this topic? Failure is so important for you, and you decided to write on it. Please.
Yeah. So first of all, let me tell you that the experiences that I've got since my childhood till now, based on that, there were various points wherein I thought that nothing beyond it. But somehow, some you can say some inspiration or some higher power, you can say, who helped me, and I came out of it. So step by step means my first failure I faced in my ninth standard when uh, my grades or my marks were too much low, and I went to uh, the down division. Okay, we used to call it C division. A division is very intelligent people. B division medium, and C division very poor intelligent student. So that was the first failure I failed in my life, and that time I wrote something uh, on notebook, and I decided to change. Okay, so I decided to prepare a plan, and then I made a change. So that discipline helped me to get the good marks in my 12th, and subsequently I got a good college in PICT. But in engineering, because the education pattern was little different, so and it was not like our schooling system, because in just 6 months you have to prepare, and not really you get the 6 months to prepare, but uh, you know you get very less time to prepare. And I tried to prepare myself, but in the first year of first semester itself I failed in all subjects. Okay,
Oh,
all subjects, right? So wherein actually people used to get one or two backlogs, so failure in all subjects. Then after that, uh, that year was again I got failed, means that I got aired on. So 1 year back. But again, somehow I worked on it and I got in the second year. But in second year also somehow I got a failure. So in the second year also I got a failure, but and my father used to also always say that if you cannot do this, then find something else in your life that you can do. Uh, but somehow I was thinking that I've started it, so let's do it. But in second year when I got against another failure, okay, so that time I was completely broken, and I have mentioned it in my book as well that I attempted a suicide. Okay. And, when I recovered from it, when my friends who helped me, when I recovered from it and when I came back to home, then I was not sure that what my father's next step would be. So he might say that, you find out, because he used to always say that, don't continue this. But that day I heard different thing from my father. He said, you go back to Pune and complete your engineering. Uh, so it was surprising for me, uh, because he told me something very important. And he said that, you know, I'm not expecting you to bring first class or distinction, but whatever you have started, you finish it, right? Because success is not a matter of being the best and winning the rest. It is a matter of finishing the rest and handling the worst. Okay, so I took that advice from my father, and then I came back to Pune again, and I subsequently completed the engineering, and then again got some struggle in job, and then I started business, and business also I got a lot of struggle. So everything I actually step by step documented here as it is, because in every step there was some learning. And yeah, so this was, you can say that it is essence of my book. So my book is actually based on this.
so why you are saying investment in failures? Why you
In
are using this word investment?
investment. Okay, very nice question. See, the thing is that you, I just remember very nice thing when I was traveling from Pune to Ahmedabad. So this book was there with me, and in the security check when they were actually seeing the things from your bag. So this book came out, and suddenly what security guard said, "What is this?" So investment. Suddenly some other person says, "Investment means ये पैसे के बारे में होगा, ये पैसा डालो और ये करो." So generally when somebody's, and even some other people who are in stock market people, so they try to recognize me as a, "Arey, you have any relation with stock market or something?" Because investment. I said no. I then generally ask them that, why do you do any investment? Okay, so if you invest in money, it grows. Okay, because maybe there could be some risk, but eventually it grows, right? So here the thing is that I'm not saying that the you should grow the failures, but when you invest in your failures, the subsequent learnings and your achievements will eventually grow. So
So
that's why I've used the word.
investment is you are telling them to work on the foundation.
Yes, work on the foundation means if you are coming across the failures, so failures are not meant to take you down, but it is to make you realize that what your inner strength really is. So that's why the word investment I've used.
Okay. Then your subtitle also says the downtime is actually a learning time.
Learning, right?
So
Because
By the
Ah,
time you are down and you are resting,
mm,
learn and get ready for a new battle.
okay. Because you see in the picture also, this image also has a meaning. So this in this image, the background image, you can see there is sunset is being happen, and in sunset when there is dark, you cannot sail on the ship. Okay, so it is actually a downtime for the sailor. So when it is a downtime or when you cannot sell, then prepare for tomorrow. Okay, so that's what this picture is also saying, right? So your downtime is for your preparation, right? So that's what it is.
करेक्ट करेक्ट। अभी थोड़ी देर पहले आपने बात की कि आपने सुसाइड अटेम्प्ट किया।
Right.
उस पर्टिकुलर इंसिडेंस के बारे में थोड़ा बताना चाहेंगे हमको, क्या था वो और क्या लर्निंग
जी
मिली उससे?
जी बिल्कुल। सी कैसा हो रहा था कि व्हेन आई वाज फेलिंग एंड यू नो सब व्हेनेवर आई यूज्ड टू गेट फेल्ड, सो सब्सिक्वेंटली मींस मतलब ये ख्याल एकदम एकदम से नहीं आया था। वो मतलब बार बार आता था। एक्चुअली क्या है कि मेरे घर में थोड़ा सा स्ट्रिक्ट एनवायरनमेंट है। मतलब जनरली मदर जो होती है वो एकदम लविंग होती है और पापा थोड़े से स्ट्रिक्ट होता है। सो मैं थोड़ा सा जरा डरता था। तो अगर ये बार बार फेल्यूर अगर मैं घर पे बताऊंगा तो क्या होगा, जनरली यही समस्याएं हर एक के बाद यहाँ पे होती है। सो आई वॉज ऑल्सो थिंकिंग अबाउट इट एंड व्हेन माय फर्स्ट फेल्यूर कम, somehow that thought was there. When second failure come, that thought was there. But when the third failure came, so I literally tell you, it was actually planned in my subconscious mind just 1 or 2 days before that, first you go to the medical, get something that can end your life, but somehow medical people will not give you without prescription.
करेक्ट।
So that plan was, it didn't work. So I went to a shop wherein actually cockroach spray or something like that. It was there. So I brought that and I just drunk it. And after some time, I started vomiting, and uh, I just slept, and I was crying and too much emotional. I was just somehow my whole life was coming in front of my eyes, and suddenly there was a call by my friend when my result was there. My everyone got their own result. They were then in hostel, their room, and suddenly they realized that where is Amol? Okay, so when one of my friends he called and he knew that he got a failure, so he must be there with us. Otherwise, might got some breakdown. So he called me. His name was Bhushan. So he called me and said that, Amol, where are you? I said, I'm at my home. So are you alone or somebody is there with you? So I said, nobody is there. So he said, don't stay alone. Come here. So he was insisting me. I was uh, actually not willing to tell what I did, but he because he was insisting, and then I said that I've done something like this, and then suddenly, the news spread within the friends, and they came to my house and they picked me up and took me to the doctor, and then my parents were informed, and that night they came and even in my book also I've mentioned this. So during that time when they were trying to actually pull out the poison from me, so actually they put one straw from through my nose and
Oh.
here, and they actually put some potassium or something like that from that, and from the same pipe they were actually taking out that. Okay, and it was very much painful, but after some times I got unconscious, and I started seeing getting some hallucinations. Okay, so means something that
Mhm.
I never wanted to see. I started looking into it, and after 2 to 3 days, when I got my senses back, then I saw my mother, I saw my father, and you know, they were actually uh, there was this. First of all, I thought that somehow I got some mental uh, mental issues and I'm there in some mental hospital. So I asked my mother that, take me to some other hospitals. Then she said that, no, there is no mental problem with you. Just try to remember what you did. And then actually I remembered that, I did that. And because of that, I'm here. And after that, I slowly recovered. And when I brought back to the home, and then I just said previously that I didn't know that after this failure, whether my father will let me continue the engineering or not. But you know, he said that go back to Pune and complete, finish what you have started with. Okay. Because earlier I used to tell you that leave this thing, but I don't want you to lose. I don't want you to leave something that you really wanted to live with. So go back to Pune and complete your engineering. So that's how it was.
So what's the learning from this whole incidents?
So the learning from this whole incident was actually, you know, I thought my life is precious. Actually, uh, the thing is that if he has decided, the higher power, if he has decided to, brought some important work from you, you have a responsibility. When he has sent and when he has created you, then he has not created a wasted thing. So he has created a precious thing which has some purpose uh, to do something great in the future. So you have to believe him because unless and until he thinks nobody can end its own life. So I after that actually I started reading the books about success and you know so that took
How to
me
handle
to
failure?
understand how to handle failures. And after that actually I entered uh, into uh, you know uh, the proper path and started my own journey properly.
Okay. So tell me what exactly you do professionally. What are your current activities? In which field you majorly work?
Okay. So see, thing is that after I did graduation for 7 years, I work in a IT company, and while working there, side by side, I used to take home classes, home tuitions for uh, those who are already working into IT or and specifically doing software testing. So I used to teach them automation. Actually, this is also interesting thing. I never wanted to become a coach. I actually wanted to prepare myself to crack an interview.
Oh,
Okay. Due to the busy schedule, due to the work, only Sunday was the holiday, and that was also very hectic. So I couldn't prepare myself. So what I thought is, let's bring some people and let's tell them that I will teach you this. And when somebody will be there in front of me, then it will be my compulsion to prepare for it. So in that context, I started preparing myself. I prepared myself, and I got a nice feedback from students. So they said that you are teaching very well. You are, relating to us, and your method of teaching is very good. So I continued that side by side. It was a nice source of income as well. And slowly, eventually, when I started doing good, I left my job and I started continuing the classes. After when the pandemic came, everything went online. Initially, I was not comfortable with the online classes, but eventually I learned it. And actually, the online sessions gave me more growth. Okay, because I could reach to more people through online session. And
correct.
this is how I'm conducting now. Earlier, I used to teach only Selenium, the automation testing tool. Now I'm teaching eventually Cucumber as well, Java plus Selenium with Cucumber. Now I have started teaching API testing as well. Various tools like SOAP UI tool, Postman, REST Assured Library, Karate Framework. JMeter is for performance testing. And recently new tool is there, Playwright, that also I've started teaching, right? And recently, uh, based on this book, I thought that let's start teaching some productivity. Means these kinds of session I used to take for my students as well, like goal setting, productivity mastery. Recently, I'm happy to tell you that we have launched a course on how to quit smoking. Means uh,
Okay.
like
Totally different subject than what you have been active into.
right. See, my students are anyways they are fighting for their own career. So in order to prepare your career, you have to be productive, right? Just learning the technical things is not enough. You have to learn the discipline of your life. You have to learn the productivity of your life, right? You have to accept some good habits in your life, and also if any bad habits are there, that you should, uh, you know, uh, throw it away from your life, right? So two courses we planned right now. So one course is already available. It's on Udemy also. It is on my own platform also. So that course is live, and another course we are its script is ready, the productivity mastery, and that also we are planning to finish before Diwali. So that will be also live. So my actual target audience will be my students only, but it can be learned by anyone, right? So
So
that's what. Uh,
great, great. So anyone who's interested in getting into software testing and learning these kind of all advanced tools, and if you want to directly get in touch with the master of those tools, please get
yes,
in touch with Mr. Amol Ujagare. His contact details will be shared with you in the description box. So you can contact him, ask him doubts in this field, take his help in learning those tools, and obviously take your careers to the different level. So he's one person who's going to hold your hand and make you successful. So please don't hesitate to contact him, write to him, and take his advice. So my
yes,
next question, Amolji, how
yes.
much time it took you to write this book, The Investment in Failures?
Approximately 1 month,
1 month,
1 month
okay?
around.
So
Yes.
the writing journey was, so was that sufficient? 30 days?
Uh, Uh, Now it's completely up to you. I always tell one thing in my goal setting session, and during one of the goal setting session, this writing process was there. So I mentioned that do you know Parkinson's law? So the time you decide for completing any particular task, you actually take that time. So if you decide 1 year, you'll take 1 year. If you decide 6 months, you'll take 6 months. If you decide 1 month, will take. I used to teach that to my student, and if I'm teaching that, I must implement that as well,
Correct,
right?
correct.
So uh, I decided that within 1 month, anyhow, I'm going to complete it. So I started with 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Then I started investing more time. And, of course, sometimes there were ups and downs, but, somehow there were tools available. And as I'm in IT, so I could easily, make use of the AI tools and generate the content and use different tools. And I could complete that, right? And the main important thing is that you should have deadline. If you have deadline and if you stick to that, definitely anything that you decide, it can be completed.
Okay,
Yes.
great. So once your book was ready, you had finished writing, and then you gave it to your publisher, and then finally it got launched. How was the journey in between?
In between means after
After
completing it,
writing till the book getting launched.
till book getting launched. Oh, so during that time, I was eager when it will be launched. So it launched actually last year, Diwali. And during that time, I actually told to so many. I told this to my students, my relatives, or my uh, actually my teachers and different people. So yes, there was an excitement within them as well, and I was also eager when this book will come. So and actually, it didn't took much time to get published because as soon as I completed the book, the publisher actually gave me within a month or before Diwali, it was there with me. On Diwali, I just put a launch of it.
I heard you have launched another book too after this book.
Yes, not just after
Can
this
you
book.
tell us more about that?
Uh, See, actually, I launched two books prior to this book, and
Okay,
after that, one more book is actually the translation of this book only.
okay, okay,
Okay, it is in Marathi only. So the same book is there. It's in Marathi.
okay, okay, okay.
Ha, and this is actually my third book. The first two books were technical. Uh, One is practical approach of software testing. Second is kickstart automation testing. Okay, both are there on Amazon. So those were completely technical, and I was just thinking that I should, write something non-technical, a self-help book, which should be related to because I wanted to tell my story as well. So I wrote this book.
Any new project you are working on currently?
New project, yeah, that's why I just told that I'm in a process of creating some recorded courses. Okay, so a technical knowledge, I've technical courses I already have launched, but along with the technical things, uh, if I provide my student the self-help content, then I think because you know technical knowledge is everywhere. So you can learn the things anyhow if you decide to learn. But the push that you want uh, is actually important, right? So, if you have a purpose in front of you and uh, if you have goals in front of you, so definitely it will push you and it will, help you to achieve your goals. So I decided to create some self-help, some productivity related courses which will be in recorded format because every time I'm into this technical training, so I may not be available every time. So I decided to create the recorded courses. So one of them I've already launched, and one is going to be launched before Diwali. And in the upcoming years, there will be many more to come. So these are the upcoming projects
Okay.
I'm working on.
Uh, do you have any advice or any sharing for someone who's continuously facing failures and setbacks and hurdles in their life, not able to complete education, not able to get job, and obviously continuously one setback after another, and he's feeling depressed and he's feeling hopeless. So, do you have any keywords or any tactics for him?
Yes, of course. See, I heard from my mentors and I experienced this as well, right? Always remember that the way you do anything is the way you do everything. Okay. Means it can be a very small thing, right? So if you decide that I will do something or I'm going to do this, and if you say that, it's okay if it is not, because it is a small thing. So avoid that approach. Even if it is a small thing that you decide to complete it. Okay. Because if you are not doing it, then you are ultimately giving a message to your subconscious mind that it's okay not to complete it. So the way you do with anything, you do the same thing with everything that is around you. So your failures, your setbacks are actually the result of something we put because some efforts we put less with some less efforts we have put because of which the failures are there. If there are failure, there is no need to demoralize. You learn from it, but next time when you will work on it, so make sure that whatever you decide, you complete it. Have a plan for it, decide and complete it. And it starts from your small things that you do in your day-to-day life.
Great, great. So, as an author, do you have any advice for someone who wants to write book and contacts you, sir? Sir, you have written three books so far. and I also want to write book. Please guide me how I can complete, how I can begin and how I can complete my book just like you in 30 days. Do you have any advice for him?
Yes, of course. If anyone wants to write a book, then see, first of all, you should find your why you want to write a book. And I guess everyone should write a book because everyone has some story to tell to the world, right? So their story can be different, their experiences can be different, their failures can be different, their success can be different. So everyone has some story, some learning to tell. Now, once you have a story, then find a reason why to tell. Okay. So if you have that solid reason in front of you, then you know the only way is to make an outline of that book. Okay, so decide where to end that book, and if you have the starting point and ending point, the in between thing you will fill up with your experience. So if you want to write a book, and if you have a solid purpose, then you should definitely write a book, and this is the way. And nowadays it's internet era, so you can get help very easily. Means how to get access to the tool, how to contact the publisher. It's not that big deal. So it just that you should have that desire, and you'll be able to complete and write your book.
Okay, great. So here we come towards the end of our discussion today. I'm again announcing that if you want to build your career in software testing, if you want to learn that, there are plenty of good tools available, and there are very few masters available who can teach this. And Mr. Amol Ujagare is one such master who is a master of all these tools. So if you want to learn these tools from anyone, please contact Amolji. His contact details would be there in the description box. His book, Investment in Failures, this book is available on Amazon. I'm going to put the buying link also in the description box. So if you want to buy that book, just click on the link below and order your copy. This copy will be home delivered to you. So that chance you should not miss. So with this, I again thank Amolji for joining with us today, for taking time from his busy schedule, talking to us, explaining his life's journey, his setbacks, and of course, his current activities and his ambitious future plans and everything. So our best wishes are always with you, Amolji,
Thank you.
and we will be in touch. So all the
Yes,
best,
sure. Thank you.
and thank you.